The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of KFNN staff, management, or advertisers, and do not represent an offer to buy or sell any securities. It's time for the Real Estate Power Hour, brought to you by Arizona Investment Link. To join the show, call now, 602-324-KFNN. That's 602-324-5366. Or outside the Phoenix area at 1-800-293-KFNN. Now, make sure your seatbelts are fastened and your chair is in the upright position, because it's time for the Real Estate Power Hour with Jason LaFleche and Brandon Cox.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Estate Power Hour, a live interactive show right here on your station, 1510 KFNN. I'm Jason LaFleche, joined by the co-host, Brandon Cox. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what, sitting here with everybody, you guys inspire me, you guys motivate me, and I feel very grateful to be here.
Are you directing that at me or like everyone that's in here?
No, I wanna bring everybody in my circle.
Bring everyone together. Okay.
Yeah. We don't want anybody to feel left out. So yeah, everybody here motivates me and makes me feel special as well.
That's awesome. We're going to call that the circle of inspiration, gentlemen. What do you think? So Brandon Cox and Jason LaFleche, both with Arizona Investment Link. We are your foreclosure auction specialists. Visit us online at ArizonaInvestmentLink.com or reach us at 602-369-4663. So yeah, Brandon's right. We are joined with Delot Wynn is back here with Arizona Investment Link, the short sale specialist. So Delot, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
We're going to have you on the same time every week. The first segment in segment 2, the first few minutes, is going to be called Delot's Corner. So that's the new segment of the Real Estate Power from here on out. And then back again, he's becoming a regular. He's becoming a regular. Jeremy Bessie, an agent with Farmers Insurance. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, man.
Welcome back to the show, I should say.
Everybody has to have insurance, so I'm here.
That's right. So today you're touting kind of that, what do you call that blue that you're wearing right there? Is that like a cobalt blue from?
Royal blue. Royal.
It's royal.
Is that a royal blue right there?
Royal blue.
Where'd I get cobalt blue from? I don't know.
I don't know.
But royal blue. Looks pretty sharp on you.
Royal.
So it looks like you just got off the golf course. You sure you're working today?
You look like a blue
Good question.
angel.
I don't know. Those insurance guys, do they ever work?
I don't know.
Hey, I'm working hard.
I don't know. Well, let's have some fun today. Brandon, we are foreclosure auction experts, and that's what we do Monday through Friday. And we get asked a lot of times by people, how often does the auction happen? I mean, is it once a month, once a week? What is it?
It's 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, excluding any major or national holidays.
That's right. So let's kind of go over what we do. Now that we'll have Kent in next week, but today, let's go over what we do as a company at Arizona Investment Link. I mean, last week, Brandon, picked up some gems last week. Gold Canyon home, unobstructed views of the Superstition Mountains, 3,000 feet. I mean, it is a full custom property that you can actually check out online at ArizonaInvestmentLink.com. Click on the available properties link, and it's the first one there. Got the before pictures already up, and it's hot, isn't it?
Right. I mean, yeah, and we don't want to make this sound too complicated. I mean, it's pretty simple when you're flipping homes. Obviously, you want to buy the home for less than what you can sell it for on the retail market, because you have to take into consideration the repairs and the other fees that go along with that. So why don't you share with the listeners, Jason, just kind of what those numbers are going to end up being, and kind of let the listeners know what kind of financial opportunities can be handed out.
Yeah. Well, we'll start from the start, how we actually get the list. Like for the auction that would happen tomorrow at 11 a.m. in Pinal, let's say, or beginning at 10 a.m. out in Maricopa County, we get the list this afternoon directly from the trustees, and there's several of them that we actually compile the list from. So we have a 3 scrub, not a 2 scrub anymore, but a 3 scrub, because we're going to include you, Brandon, too. When it comes to the comping at night, I mean, you're in essence scrubbing through the entire list yet again to make sure that the numbers are accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fine-tuned scrubbing for sure. So there's different levels of scrubbing. That's definitely a fine-tune adjusting the numbers. Yeah, absolutely.
No question about it. So for our active investors with Arizona Investment Link, you will actually receive a broken down list from us. Now, it's not just the raw list with 800 or 900 properties on it that's going to take you forever just to look through and get a grasp on. These have been completely scrubbed through to where it narrows down the best possible fix and flip opportunities. Not only that, but we include on there because we do have several clients that like to do the buy and hold strategy for cash flow. So we include those properties on there as well. If they just didn't quite make that fix and flip, Brandon, and you know what I mean, there's got to be that certain spread in there, but it's still very appetizing for buy and hold where you have a nice solid equity position day one when you pick up the property. That's what we do. On top of that, title searches. So a lot of these folks out there that are brand new in the business, they don't know that you need to have a title search done. Brandon, you say it every week. If you have more money than brains, you know it's not a big deal. But if you don't, if you're like most of us mortals, and you need to get into this investment game with no room for error, you have to do title searches.
Yeah, you'd have to know what you're purchasing, and you have to take the risk out of the equation. And part of the risk when you're buying a home at the trustee sale is, you might be bidding on a second if you don't know what you're doing. And if you're bidding on the second lien position, well, you got to deal with the guys in first position. So, it's, once again, really that simple, but it's a critical step that you have to look at, and you have to make sure you're bidding on it first, because otherwise it could really hurt you and give you a kick in the pants.
Right. So you're talking about first lien position. That's something that we actually let our clients know. Yeah, these properties, title is clear. You're bidding on a first versus a second. Not only that, but back tax searches. You got to know what back taxes are. Even though it's not a hard cost up front, it's a soft cost at the end coming out of the net proceeds at the end of the day. So you have to know back taxes as well.
Yeah, but anybody that's not super familiar with real estate and taxes and how that works when the properties go to the trustee sale is the taxes stay with the home. So even if the previous owner was delinquent and didn't pay their property taxes, that doesn't go with them. It stays with the property, so the new owner who purchased the property at the trustee sale, they're going to be responsible for those taxes. And we've seen them as high as $15,000 in back taxes, and we've seen them just a few $100, and then there's a lot of the properties that don't have any back taxes whatsoever.
Right. Now, there's a lot of big companies out there, bidder companies, that do the same thing we do, or similar at least, as far as providing the list and showing what type of properties go to auction every day. But these companies typically, we get asked quite often, is there a middleman? I mean, am I buying directly? And the people that are novices, they don't know actually who they're buying from. They just want a deal. But I think some of these other companies out there, I shouldn't say I think, I know, they're not allowing the consumers to buy directly from the trustee in a lot of cases, are they?
Yeah, there's some people out there that brag that, the property goes directly into their name, which really, what's the point of buying at the trustee sale if you have to take care of a middleman,
right.
Or they put their own little fees in there that, take away from your piece of the pie.
Yeah, and what happens is, let's just say, for instance, you had a maximum bid on a property of $80,000. Let's say that bidding service picks up that property at, let's say, $62,000, so far less than what you were already willing to pay. Well, a lot of these companies, believe it or not, they're upping it maybe $8-10 take a little piece for themselves, and then resell the property to you for still a bit less than what your maximum bid was. But you did have the opportunity to actually acquire that property at $62,000. And that's what we do at Arizona.